Hello everyone, welcome back to D&D and Me, and continuing where I left off because I completely forgot to record. Uh, I'm going to do the elementals here in the 5th edition Monster Manual, and then I got the huge ass page of Drow to do afterwards, so that's going to be pretty much a bunch of lore on them. Yeah, because I have to do one page of straight lore and then the other stats. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight on to that. Now, same thing on dealing with the elementals. The elementals, the first one, which is the air elemental, is going to have the lore on the elementals in general, the lore on the air elemental, and then I'm going to do the elemental stat, and then each elemental from there is just going to have the lore associated with it from the 5th edition Monster Manual stated, and then the stats on top of that. So let's just get straight into it. Elementals are incarnations of the elements that they make up in the universe: air, earth, fire, and water. Though little more than animated energy on their own plane of existence, they can be called on by spellcasters and powerful beings that take shape and perform tasks. Note that these spellcasters, like in most settings that I see, are like usually higher because like low tier magic, like first and maybe second level spells are like uncommon still. So the higher you go, the even more harder and like uncommon it is. Living elements. On its home plane, an elemental is a bodiless life force. Its dim consciousness manifests as a physical shape only when focused by the power of magic. I did not know that. I thought they were just like constantly like that on their home plane. A wild spirit of elemental force has no desire except to course through the element of its native plane. Like beasts of the material plane, these elemental spirits have no society or culture and little sense of being. Conjured by magic. Certain spells and magic items can conjure an elemental, summoning it from the inner planes to the material planes. Elementals instinctively I still misread that, resent being pulled from their native planes and bound into service. A creature that summons an elemental must exert force of will to control it. Bound and shaped. Powerful magic can bind an elemental spirit into a material template that defines elementals bound to a specific form, in the same way that water elementals can be shaped into water weirds. I did not know they could be turned into water weirds, or shaped into it anyways. The strength of magic in materials that bind an elemental determines how well the elemental functions in a bound form. Golems are elemental spirits bound to physical forms, but weaker materials such as flesh and clay can't bind elemental powers sufficiently. Durable materials such as stone and iron require stronger magic, which consequently binds an elemental more securely, which makes a lot more sense. Elemental nature. They do not require air, food, drink, or sleep. They just are. The air elemental. An air elemental is a funnily cloud of whirling air with a vague semblance of a face. Although it likes to race across the ground, picking up dust and debris as it goes, it can also fly and attack from above, so like a dive bomb. An air elemental can turn itself into a screaming cyclone, creating a whirlwind that batters creatures and even flings them far away. The air elemental, which not what I remember them looking like, but it literally looked like a tornado with two arms and a face in it, which is ominous. Air Elemental is a large elemental and is neutral. AC of 15, hit point average of 90, 12d10 plus 24. Has a 0 movement speed, but a fly speed of 90 feet, which is a hover more or less. Has a strength of 14 plus 2, dexterity of 20 plus 5, constitution of 14 plus 2, intelligence of 6 minus 2, wisdom of 10 plus 0, and a charisma of 6 minus 2. So, like they said, they don't really have a sense of being, or self-being. Damage resistances. Lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing for non-magical attacks. It's immune to being poisoned. It's immune to having exhaustion, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, and unconsciousness, so it, I guess, just dies. Uh, it has dark vision up to 60 feet and a passive perception of 10. It speaks Auran. It's a challenge rating 5, 1800 experience points. And it has air form. The elemental can enter a hostile creature's space and stop there. It can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch without squeezing. This is air. I don't think that it needs. It can probably go through an entire fucking building with no issue. Multi-attack. The elemental makes 2 slam attacks. The slam attack is a melee weapon. It's plus 8 to hit, reach of 5 feet, 1 target only, 14 average, 2d8 plus 5 bludgeoning damage. And then it has an ability called Whirlwind, which on a d6 roll of 4 through 6, it can do the following. Each creature in the elemental space must make a DC 13 strength saving throw. On a failure, a target takes 15 average, 3d8 plus 2 bludgeoning damage, and is flung up to 20 feet from the elemental in a random direction and knocked prone. If a thrown target strikes an object, such as a wall or floor, the target takes 3 average, 1d6 bludgeoning damage, for every 10 feet it is thrown. If the target is thrown at another creature, the creature must succeed a DC 13 dexterity saving throw or take the same damage and be knocked prone. If the saving throw is successful, the target takes half the bludgeoning damage and isn't flung or knocked prone. That is the air elemental. Very quick little thing. Not gonna lie, I didn't realize it had a whirlwind ability, but you know it's pretty cool. Cool in my opinion. Uh, Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe as I bring you more D&D content in the future, and I'll see you all in the future.